everybody, good morning and welcome to That's Football. I'm joined again by Robbie for win, lose or draw as we look ahead to the Premier League weekend. He's doing this, but he's actually losing. I'll tell him about that in a bit. But Robbie, how are you doing?
I'm good. Listen, maybe losing in that, but we won the North London derby, so I'm feeling good, bro. Right?
Yeah.
Weekend, I'm feeling happy. I haven't felt like this for a couple of weeks. Nice, relax, good.
You can relax for about 24 hours because it is a big weekend. You've got Villa. They've got Brentford. You're 4 points behind. We're going to look at Arsenal's next 5 and Liverpool's next 6 because they have got Everton, that game in hand, coming up soon. But it is interesting. But we've spoken a lot about strikers. And we're waking up this morning to this 9-year deal for Erling Haaland. What are your thoughts on this? Because for me, I've just tweeted it. 9-year deal. What's going on with football? They're meant to be getting a bloody ban. They've just bought 2-3 players in the January transfer window. I worry about football when Man City are doing stuff like this. I think the Premier League, I'm just worried that this is an indicator of we'll have a few months off. We'll pretend we're really bad. And then next year, when we've got through the fines and everything like that, we'll just go back to normal and we'll dominate. But I am disappointed in Haaland because I think spending your whole career at Man City, it's... But maybe he won't. Maybe it's just money. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we never know what sort of clauses and all that are written into that. You know, if a club comes with the X amount, that could trigger me being able to talk to them and stuff like that. But that's longer than even some of them Chelsea ones. You know, and again, it's like almost like exploiting a loophole to me, right? Because what it's doing, you can spread that payment over a long period of time, which then enables you to balance your books a bit better, which means you can continue to buy players, you know. And Haaland, maybe he's looking on it and thinking, well, for the time being, where would I go? Because I can't go to Real Madrid because they got Mbappe, they got Vinicius Jr. and players like that. Barcelona ain't really got the money to afford him. Bayern, maybe. But is that a massive step up if you go to the Bundesliga? PSG, you know, that's not really a step up from the Premier League either. So maybe he's just looking and thinking, for the time being, I'll just cash in. You know what I mean? I'll stay here. I'm scoring loads of goals. And it can't be, I'm looking at it and thinking, maybe they're not worried about this ban.
No.
If they're able to sign a player like Haaland for 9 years, all the money they're spending in this January I read yesterday that if they get that Mamouche deal done and that, they would have spent more money than the whole of the spending for last January transfer window. I'm on about all clubs in the Premier League. So, and obviously they had that Alvarez money from, you know, which they didn't spend from the summer transfer window, but they're making big moves.
I think you've nailed it. I think it's all about the money. I mean, if you're Erling Haaland, I don't think your dream is to spend your whole career at Man City. But as you said, where are the options for him to go? Man City is spending all this money. It just makes me laugh because we get told that Pep Guardiola is the best coach there's ever been. And, you know, what does he do with the best squad in the league? He's got 12 points from 36. What does he do? Doesn't coach his way out of it. Straight into the bloody transfer window, spend a load of money. But they won't be winning the league this year. You can't buy that, Man City, you know. So you're out of it this year. It's definitely Arsenal, Liverpool. You mentioned Forest? A great result. What
about Forest?
Nah.
No?
Nah, not having it.
What about Newcastle as well? They're going good, Newcastle.
Well, we're going to start with Newcastle. You're obviously a very good presenter yourself because you know where I'm going with this. We will talk about Arsenal and Liverpool. I think it's a 2-horse race. But first game of the weekend, in for win, lose or draw, actually. Me and Robbie, we did week 1 a couple of weeks ago, 6-6. We got a couple of highlights from that. Robbie went for the Forest win away to Wolves. I got for the draw with Ipswich and Fulham. So we're 6-6. Last week, we did an FA Cup special where we said whoever wins between Arsenal and United get 3 points. I'm only going to claim 1 because it was penalties. And, you know, a 3-point lead seems a bit unfair. So we're going to say 7-6.
Good score.
Good call. But we're back at it this week. It's a point for every result we get right. We're going to go through the fixtures. And Robbie's absolutely correct. Newcastle up at 12:30 Saturday. 6 from 6. In this league, Robbie, that's fantastic. But they are playing Bournemouth, who've got the 6th best away form in the league as well. So 6 is the number. Will it be 7 for Newcastle, or can Bournemouth upset them at St James's Park?
Yeah, this is a tight one, man, because Bournemouth, they were really impressive the other day against Chelsea. Got a draw there. They're playing good. They're playing good. I thought they might have a little drop because Evan Nilsson's out injured, but he's still playing well. But I think I have to go for Newcastle. The form that they're on, I'm going to go for Newcastle 2-1.
Lovely stuff. We do alternate to make it fair, so I can't just copy Robbie on everything. But I always say you can't go against Newcastle at home. Arsenal didn't win there, Man City didn't win there, Liverpool didn't win there. So I'm definitely going to go with a Newcastle win. Next game up, I'll go first on this one, and it's a massive one. It's about the title. We saw Liverpool at Forest draw. Their keeper was fantastic, to be fair. I think they've got a second best defence behind you, Forest. And they're very good defensively. But it's Brentford-Liverpool. Brentford obviously came back from 2-0 down against City. You won there on New Year's Day, didn't you? And I thought maybe the bubble had burst with that. But Brentford-Liverpool, I'm gonna go quite. Look, Liverpool got the best away record. Brentford a third, I think, for home record. I'm gonna go draw, which I'm sure you'll love. But I'm gonna go draw. I just don't think.
You know what, right?
I don't think you can go against Brentford.
Brentford, right? A tricky side, man. Like, this game is a clash of stars. I remember when we played them, right? They literally get the ball. They're not playing out nothing from the back. Lump it up front to either Mbuemo or Wissa and try and attack you quick. That is their tactic against teams like us, Liverpool, you know. So it's going to be a real clash of styles. I was going to go for a draw as well, but could they do it? Could they pull off a draw? I mean, nah, surely Liverpool are going to... I'm going to go for a draw, man. Let's get for a draw. Draw.
You got to go with what you got to go. You got to go what you go. Okay, that would be a good result for Arsenal. We'll talk about them in a moment because the next game we're going to do is Leicester against Fulham. Disappointing for Leicester midweek, losing. They lose to Crystal Palace at home. I mean, that's sort of game you got to win.
They missed a load of chances as well.
Yeah, where are you going to go? You go first on this, Leicester Fulham then.
Yeah, they missed loads of chances, Leicester. I just can't. And Fulham are a good, compact side, good on the counter-attack. Leicester have to go for it now. They're really starting to slip. I'm going for a Fulham win. I can't see Leicester winning this.
Mate, I've wrote mine down already, so I'm not cheating on this. But we've got this. This is fine by me because you can't go ahead of me because I've got the same anyway. I've just wrote down Fulham too good. They'll beat Leicester. So we'll move to the next one. Let's see. I'll go first on this one. West Ham against Palace. As we said, good result for Palace away to Leicester. West Ham did well to beat Fulham as well. Held on at the end. I can't split these, so I'm just going to go with a draw. I was going to go West Ham win, but I don't know enough about them under Potter yet. So I think Palace are in good form. I'll go with a draw.
Yeah, still early for West Ham, but they did get a win in their last game. They are at home. I'm going to go a West Ham win. I'm going to go for West Ham. Palace, you know, as I said, good win for them during the week, but Leicester missed a lot of chances. I mean, I know West Ham at the moment struggling without a striker, but I'm going to go for a West Ham win.
There we go. We've got a differential as we go into Arsenal Villa. Robbie will be going first on this one. Arsenal, for me, have to win it. There's a chance that Liverpool could drop points. Arsenal got a win now. Villa, good result at Everton. Where are you going to go, Robbie, on this?
All of these games are must-wins, Mark. If Liverpool lose, we have to win, or it makes no sense. If Liverpool or draw, say, if Liverpool win, then we have to win. It's like that's what it's going to be from now till the end of the season. Villa beat us last year at home. We beat them earlier on in the season at their place, but then that was with our Saka and everybody up front. It won't be an easy game, but I remember the game last year, right? We shouldn't have lost that game. We created so many chances in the story of our lives right now. We created so many chances against you guys last week. But I think after that win in the North London derby, the spirits are up. I know that also Villa, they've had a poor away record in recent times. I think they lost before their game during the week. I think they lost 5 on the bounce on the road.
Yeah, they've lost 5 away this year, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going for an Arsenal win. The crowd are going to be up for it. We know we have to win that game, even though we're a bit blunt up front at the moment. There's always set pieces. Arsenal win.
I'd love to go against it, but you're unbeaten at home in the league. So I've got to go. I'm going to go draw just to make it interesting.
Draw.
I did put Arsenal win, but just because you're an Arsenal fan and it'll be funny on Monday, I'll go with I'm going to go with a draw on this one. Okay, I'm first on this one. We're into Sunday fixtures. It's Everton, who lost their first game in charge with David Moyes, obviously to Villa, against Spurs, who lost the game as well this week against, can't remember who it was, but yeah, they did lose. This one caught me out, Robbie, because I was going to go David Moyes needs a win at Goodison Park. Spurs are Spurs. I was really close going for an Everton win on this one, but I think Everton every time I watch Everton, they can't score goals. So
yeah.
Then again, they're playing against Spurs defence. I think me and you would score a couple against them. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go Spurs win, but I'm not comfortable with this one at all.
Yeah, it's a weird game, right? Because Spurs are the type of team that they could go and blow away Everton, like just all out attack, blow Everton away. But then it's also the sort of game that if Everton, defend well, they could catch out Spurs on like a set piece. I'm going to go for Everton win. I think, it was disappointing their defeat during the week, but they did create a lot of chances in that game, more than they normally create, what they were creating under Dyche. It was really Calvert-Lewin missed a hatful of chances. I'm going for Everton winning that game. Spurs can't defend.
Good one. I'm interested to see where we are with this on Monday. On to the biggest game of the weekend. Oh, it's going to be a cracker. United against Brighton. You're first on this one, thank God. Yeah, I've got no idea, mate.
Talking about it would have been a laugh on Monday. I'm telling you, right? You just about survived, right? The biggest laugh of all this morning, right? Because that display against Southampton, I watched the game last night. What was Lenny Yoro, yeah? He was getting, I thought he was Saeed playing. You know what I mean? He was getting absolutely destroyed.
It wasn't that bad.
Hey, listen, right? What was the name of
At least Yoro can run.
What was the name of that winger they had at Southampton? He's lightning quick, by the way.
Oh, Semenyo or something like that, yeah. It's good.
He looked good. He was destroying Yoro. I'll tell you, it was that Ahmad rescue job. You were lucky this morning. I'm telling you that. But listen, if you play like that against Brighton, you get destroyed. Because Brighton, they move the ball quickly. They're a good side. They've been horrible on the road in recent times, but they got a good win yesterday as well. I'm going to go Brighton. How I saw you play, you can't play like that. I mean, I remember Amarim was saying that this is almost like the more of a test than the previous games. And I got what he meant by that, because you're at Old Trafford, you've got to attack a bit. You can't just sit in.
Yeah.
Right? Like what you did against Arsenal, you did against Liverpool, and your fans won't accept that against a Brighton or against a Southampton. And then I saw when you started to attack, you left a lot of I fancy Brighton in this, and this is no hate at all.
No. Can't say what I've said yet.
Yeah, Brighton, Ruta, is a good player. Mitoma, Pedro, their attack is good. I'm going for a Brighton win. Sorry, Mark.
No, I mean, look, I watched the game as well. And I thought Southampton should have had that game won 3 or 4-0 at half time. Yeah. Anana was our man of match. Second half wasn't much better. I think Eriksson with a brilliant pass won the game. Ahmad, as you said, that's a team that hasn't won a game all season away from home and is quite comfortably one of the worst teams we've ever seen in Premier League history. And they were playing us off the park for 60 minutes. So, yeah, but I'm still going to go with the United win, because the thing I know about United is, as I saw at Arsenal and Liverpool, is that you write them off and they'll win. And then you expect them to win and they'll be absolutely pants. So I'm hoping we'll get the good performance. I'll go with the United win. But you're right, Brighton are a better team than Southampton. And if United are anything like they were against Southampton, then they'll get absolutely battered. So, I'm going to go.
Brighton are a better team than you too. Right? So,
I think that's, you know what, it's not the United stand, but I look at United and I look at someone like Arsenal, And although we live off the name, I think there are similarities with Arsenal a few years ago. We're living off a name, but when you look at it, Agate, I like Agate, but who out of the top 6 would have bought Agate and put him straight in the team? Probably the same with De Ligt, Mazraoui. They're good players, but they're Man United's best players. We need to wake up to the fact that it's not bad performances per se. When you compare it, Fulham's good. Fulham are good. Brentford are good. These teams are good. And we're just not better than them at the moment. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea are on the up. They have got better teams than Brentford and Fulham, but they'll still get a game out of them.
It's the reality, Mark. Even the other day, right? I remember we were playing Newcastle, right? And we were looking forward to that game. And I said in the studio to the guys, if you check it, with the injuries that we got at the moment, Newcastle got better attack than us. And everyone's like, no, I'll tell you, listen, even if everybody's fit, and we were doing a front line between us and Newcastle, only Saka would get in it. It would be Gordon, Saka, and Isak down the middle. And if you look at a team like Brighton, Matoma, he's a top quality player. That Ruter's been playing really well, and so is that Pedro. So currently, I'd say they've got a better attack. With the injuries that we've got, they've probably got a comparable attack with Arsenal. So these, I think this is a thing this season, right? There are teams out there that used to be sort of those little mid teams and that. When you look at the players they have, they've got very good players. Brighton have spent a lot of money this year, a lot of money, and have built a very, very good squad. So you are right when you say that. It's not like where, United of a few years ago where you'd have a player like Rooney that's like miles better than, the attackers on the other side. Rasmus Højlund is not better than João Pedro right now, is he? So
that's the reality, isn't it? You look through United, we don't have the players to go, well, we've got 3 players that are just better than everybody else has got on the opposition. We don't have that. But I'm still going to go with a win for Brighton, for Man United. 2 to go. This is interesting. I mean, Forest, Southampton, I said Forest easy win, but that was predicted before last night. Southampton, I don't know. We'll probably just see how shit Southampton are at Forest. I'm going to go with the Forest win, but they were. I mean, I think we just made them look half decent, to be honest, which we're very good at Old Trafford.
Yeah. I mean, you guys look really lethargic, but the Forest will be a different proposition. They're a good side, and they defend very well. And I think what they'll do is they'll just sit in as well with their usual style, sit in and just catch Southampton on the counter-attack. Southampton are an attacking team. That's the thing about them. They're not a defensive team. They're going to suit Forest down to the ground. So Forest win.
And our final one, we've got a few differentials, but we've got the same on a few. So hopefully, it will be a different one here. Although I thought I'd gone for it. I might change mine on this. Chelsea against Wolves, Robbie, Monday Night Football. Chelsea's, there's some really bad runs at the moment. I mean, United had a terrible run over the last 7 Premier League games. Man City have got 12 from 36. But this is, Chelsea's run is absolutely dreadful. I think they've, I was looking at it the other day. It's like 3 from 15 or something stupid like that. Home to Wolves, whose new manager bounce seems to have lost. Where are you going with that one?
I'm going to go with a Chelsea win. But they've been, when you really think about Chelsea, the fact that coming into the start of December, I was comparing, like we did a thing where we compared everyone's fixtures at the top. And we're like, hey, Chelsea could be like right up close to Liverpool because they had an easy run. Teams like Ipswich, and they've lost them all or drawn them all. They drew Everton, drew with Ipswich, drew the other night with Bournemouth. They're really struggling in front of goal. They can't defend. They've now to bring Chalobah back after they run him out of the club.
It's embarrassing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they'll have too much for Wolves. So a Chelsea win.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to go Chelsea win. I'm going to change it because actually I've got to be consistent. I'm going to go with a draw, a low-scoring draw, because they have a sort of Arsenal problem in the sense that they can't score goals when it really matters. And I'm surprised. I mean, we mentioned it at the start of the show. You've got Man City, bit of a crisis. They just go and spend a shitload of money. I think that Mamouche would have been a decent Arsenal or Chelsea signing. Actually, they don't bloody need it. But yeah, Chelsea spent a lot of money, but Nicholas Jackson's all right off your bench, I think. I don't think he's a striker to lead the line for a team that wants to. And I agree with you. I think if just before Christmas, I looked at their fixtures and went, they're going to be up there at the end of Jan, and they've blown it. And Chelsea fans said, don't put us in a title race. But I think as a non-Chelsea fan,
they said don't put us in the title race. But at the moment, they may not even be in the top 4 race. They're out of the top 4. They're in 5th, right? The teams like City breathing down their neck in 6th. Listen, they need to start getting some wins together. Forget the title race, right? They may not even make the top 4 or 5. Oh, I lost you, Mark. Froze up, Mark. I'll wait here.